So people who have through the testimonies, near death experiences that I've seen on YouTube, people who have died when they were not an atheist or had a near death experience but were resuscitated, the ones that went to heaven or went to hell because they weren't saved, so they didn't go to heaven unless they're a child. But so the ones that I've seen of the ones where they died, but then they got resuscitated. I didn't see them die, but they testified of what happened. They said that they weren't saved, but they went to hell. Most people who end up in hell in a near-death experience and that are resuscitated and come back to life get saved. After they see hell, they get saved. And I don't blame them, obviously. So they won't have to go there ever again. But some of them actually say that they were traveling through a tunnel and they saw the light. They saw the light, the light at the end of the tunnel. They were traveling through a tunnel. They saw the light. They were getting closer and closer to the light. But then they were directed to a different path. So they were forcefully not following the path to the light anymore, but on a dark path that led down a tunnel that got darker and darker and hotter and hotter. So why exactly do the unsaved see the light sometimes? See the light at the end of the tunnel. It doesn't mean they're going to heaven. Obviously, if they're not saved, they're not going to heaven. But it's because of one of two things. One, they are really seeing the light. They're seeing, angels have the power to manifest themselves as angels of light. Like the devil has the power to manifest himself as an angel of light. So it's not necessarily only God's light that they're seeing at the end of this tunnel, but they are experiencing an angel. But the angel tells them to go a different way. And then they're something just grabs their soul and forcefully walks them to a different path. Because if you had the option to choose to walk down the path to hell, trust me, you would not go to hell. You wouldn't walk to hell. Nobody would. That's why people at Judgment Day are going to be thrown into or cast into the lake of fire. Because nobody's going to just willingly just hop or jump into the lake of fire. Nobody's just going to do that. I mean, so they're going to be thrown into the lake of fire. An angel is going to be thrown into an angel is going to throw the sinners into the lake of fire. The other way a person can seeing the light is that's unsaved is Satan. Satan is showing them a deception that make them think that they're going to heaven when they're really not going to heaven. So he manifests himself as an angel of light and it deceives that person into being very happy and joyous and glorious and peaceful when really they're going to hell. That would be very mean and evil to do to a person, having them feel like such peace and utter glory and everything like that when they're not, as just a deception, and that's exactly who the devil is. He does stuff like that. So yes, it is true that people who are not going to heaven, that are unsaved, that die and go to hell, who are resuscitated, come back, have actually said that they saw the light, they were going towards the light, but then they were led astray onto a different path, and that went down a dark tunnel and got hotter and hotter. So it is true. It is possible that the unsaved will see that light, or it could be them getting judged by God too. When I don't think they stand before God immediately after they die. I believe that the judgment's already set once you're dead. If you're saved or unsaved, you go to heaven or hell immediately after you died, and then at Judgment Day you'll stand before God and be judged. So, hope you guys enjoy.